A bell chimes. The door slams open and a crowd spills into the cramped office. Men in crumpled hats, women clutching newspapers, eyes wild with desperation. In the center, Charles Ponzi stands, his hands trembling like a magician about to reveal the secret. 50% in 45 days, he shouts, voice cracking over the rustle of wallets. He points to a ledger, pages filled with names, each one promising a payday that feels impossible. The room pulses with feverish whispers, the crowd feeding on each other's greed. A banker in a pinstripe suit leans in, whispering, "If this works, we're all set for life." Ponzi smiles, his mind already racing through the numbers that will make the promise sound inevitable. The air thickens with hope, fear, and the scent of paper money. In seconds, the panic room becomes a stage for the biggest con America would ever see. Charles Ponzi stepped off the boat in 1903, shoes worn, pockets empty. He sold newspapers on Boston's crowded streets, dreaming of a big break. By 1918, a chance newspaper article mentioned international reply coupons. Cheap stamps bought in America, redeemed for postage in Italy at a higher rate. Ponzi did the math. One coupon cost 2 cents, could be exchanged for 4 cents of Italian postage, a 100% profit after shipping costs. He borrowed $2,500 from a friend, bought thousands of coupons, and sold them to new investors, promising 50% returns in 45 days. Word spread like wildfire. By spring 1919, investors queued outside his office, clutching cash, convinced a simple stamp trade could make them rich. Ponzi's charm and the promise of effortless arbitrage turned a modest idea into a national fever. He bought a warehouse on the Lower East Side, filled it with piles of postage stamps. The stamps were cheap, but the real profit lay in international reply coupons, the IR coupons. Ponzi claimed he could buy them cheap in Italy, redeem them in the United States for postage worth twice the price, then sell the profit to investors. He printed glossy flyers promising 50% returns in 45 days and handed out handwritten receipts that listed each investor's share. Behind the scenes, he kept a master ledger that showed 2 columns, one for coupon purchases and another for coupon redemptions. The redemption column was always a phantom figure, inflated to make the whole operation look legitimate. He paid early investors with the capital of newcomers, a classic pyramid. Word of mouth spread faster than any newspaper headline. Friends urged friends, and the line outside his office grew longer each day. By early summer, the lobby looked like a stock exchange. Men in fedoras handed Ponzi crisp, green bills. Women clutched checks for $10,000. In a single week, investors poured $250 million into his promise of 50% returns in 90 days. Newspapers ran front-page stories. Miracle moneymaker and Boston's new gold rush. The Boston Globe ran a glowing editorial, calling his operation a marvel of modern finance. Even the state treasurer, a man known for prudence, wrote a public note praising Ponzi's innovative capital turnover. Bankers, eager to keep the flow, opened special accounts, waiving fees for clients who deposited large sums. Politicians, hungry for campaign contributions, appeared at his office, shaking his hand and flashing smiles. The frenzy fed itself. Each new headline attracted more cash, and a line outside the office swelled to a city block. The first crack came on a rainy Tuesday. A Boston reporter, James H. Collins, asked Ponzi for proof of the arbitrage. Ponzi handed over a single stamped envelope and a handwritten ledger, then vanished for a week. When he returned, the ledger showed far fewer returns than promised. Meanwhile, the U.S. Postal Service received dozens of complaints that the promised 50% profit stamps never arrived. On June 23rd, the Postmaster General issued a stop payment order on all incoming international reply paid stamps, effectively cutting off the lifeblood of the scheme. Investors queued outside, unaware the money pipe was sealed. Panic spread as withdrawals surged. Ponzi could no longer pay the early investors. Within days, the line dwindled to a handful of desperate men. The police arrived, seized the ledger, and arrested Ponzi in his office, where he was found counting the last few $100s left in his till. Behind bars, Ponzi faced a 14-year sentence, but served only 5 before deportation. The government seized his remaining assets, just $2,000 in cash and a handful of worthless stamps. Victims recouped roughly $1.2 million of the $15 million they had poured in, a fraction of the promised 50% profit in 90 days. The scandal sparked the first federal securities law, the 1934 Securities Exchange Act, and birthed the term Ponzi scheme. Modern fraudsters still copy his playbook, promise unrealistic returns, use new investors to pay the old, and hide the math behind glossy brochures. The FBI now tracks Ponzi in over 700 cases each year, with losses topping $10 billion worldwide. The lesson is simple. If a return sounds too good to be true, demand to see the underlying assets. If the answer is vague, walk away.